Hi, welcome to Battleground Games. I am Amanda, and I am going to be painting some very tiny trucks. One of them with a dude fused to the front. I am at the Abington location of Battleground Games and Hobbies in Massachusetts. We have two other locations. This is the one that has our streaming and stuff in it, so that's where I am. It might be a little noisy downstairs right now. We have a Magic pre-release going on, but that's okay. I'm up here. I'm going to paint and hopefully get this guy maybe done today. This is Grand Lord Emperor Torque. This dude right here, as you can see, he is fused with a car. This is from the game Wasteland Express. Wasteland Express Delivery Service. It's a Mad Maxy, Borderlandsy sort of theme going. And so it's a whole bunch of delivery truck drivers in their super fancy big rigs, some of which are things like the Fallen has a modded school bus. Their school bus is pretty badass. Got all this crap on top of it. Unfortunately, because it's a school bus and it's yellow, I had to use my most hated color to paint with. So we're going to work on that today. And then I'm going to work on Big John. Big John has a tractor trailer rig. Let's see here. There's Big John. This is Big John Jr. There's also Big John Sr. in the cards. You can get Big John Sr. as an ally. This is the Fallen here. She wears a mask. Keeps the dust down, you know. So I have Big John's rig. As you can see, it's fairly tiny. Yeah, big tiny John. All of the vehicles in this game are a much smaller scale than I'm used to working with. I just finished doing the figures for the Dark Crystal, and I did the figures for a friend's copy of Santorini, and that's really cool, but definitely much bigger scale. These are a very tiny scale. Torque is a little bit bigger, just because you've got the dude fused to the car itself. Going with a purple scheme to it. I realized, so I had painted his cape this teal to match his arm guards. For whatever reason, I hadn't realized that what's behind him right here, and it sort of blends in with the sky on the card, so you can see why I missed it. This is actually his cape up here, and it's this ugly-ass pea green. So, Grand Lord Emperor Torque is not what we'd call tasteful. And if it's not working, don't worry about it.
I just don't know why it's taking so long.
It's just being ornery because you want to get downstairs. That's why it's taking that long. Don't sweat it. I have it up on here. I will just pay attention to my screen over here. Normally I have the chat up on a screen to my right, and I can it catches my eye because it's so big and it's right up there. But the laptop that we run the chat off of is being cranky today. It's being cranky. So instead, I'm just going to be keeping an eye on my laptop, which means I'm going to be looking away every once in a while to look at the laptop as I do that. But that's how it goes. I'm actually going to plug in my phone because I was wandering around today out with my mom, and I was grinding candy in Pokemon Go because I still play Pokemon Go. So cool. All right, so let's get going. We're going to work on Emperor Torque eventually. I do want to get a base coat down on Big John. Big John's truck is, the cab is like blue and orange. And then the trailer is sort of the wooden color with the green sort of army tarp over it. I'm going to do that. I have mentioned before that I really love the Wasteland Express box. This is the box. It's very large. And one of the reasons it's so deep is because it comes with these wonderful vacuum-formed trays that carry everything. So this has all the characters and their vehicles, which is awesome. And this, there's another one that's sort of the same size as this one, and this sits on top of the two of them and fits right in. And this is the mod shop that you can use in the game to mod your vehicles. As you can see, it's pretty nice. So I really love this. I did already do the Raider trucks for this game. The Raiders each have a color scheme. This is a Bonesaw, which has a green color scheme to it. They're supposed to be pretty day glow. If you look at the game, you can see it's very bright. So that's Bonesaw. This is the Railman. They're blue. The Railman truck is the one I think the happiest with. It came out 100% the way I wanted. And the 99. The 99 have an upside down Route 66 sign as their. I'm pretty happy with that one too. Oh, thank you. So here's the thing. Way back in the day, I used a little like plastic tray for a pallet and had little wells, and so it was very nice. But it was on loan. It was like a buddy was loaning it to me. And eventually I was like, I can't keep using this guy's like paint tray, and he's gonna need it. And so I looked at what like GW has available, and they have these like palette booklets, which are basically booklets of wax paper. And we ship out a lot of Magic cards from Battleground. We have an online store, and the online store gets a fair amount of use. So we do a lot of shipping, and we have these large shipping labels to go on the packages. Wax paper. The back of a shipping label, the shipping label backing, makes an excellent paint palette. So I just salvage them as we go through them instead of trashing them, and use those for my paint. So we're gonna be doing that. So yeah, let's do some base. Let's base out some of Big John's stuff. See if we can get that looking pretty decent. Let's start with some brown. The yellow on the school bus is mostly opaque. That's 3 coats of that yellow. I hate yellow. It is definitely my most despised color to paint with. I was talking to someone the other night about that. There's no color more annoying to paint with for me than yellow. White doesn't always go on opaque to start with, but it at least tends to go on evenly, even if it isn't opaque. Whereas white, or yellow, has a tendency to just streak. And I don't mean it's naked. Haha. It just tends to go on very streaky. you end up with all this sort of patchy stuff going on. It's just irritating. I really don't like it. Yellow just, it never works. I hate painting with yellow. I did get a good piece of advice to paint yellow over tan, because browns do tend to work better. Oh, this is still stopped up. Tan does tend to work underneath yellow pretty well, but yeah. So we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna see if we can get one more coat of yellow on that school bus, and then work on some detail work. I really want to finish Grand Lord Emperor Torque. I'm sick of this guy. He's like a villain in the game. One of the objectives you can have in a game is to go fight him. This tan is being a giant pain in my butt. It's okay. So, yeah, one of the objectives you can have is to go, like, deal with Grand Lord Emperor Torque. I'm not going to worry too much about getting... One of the things I like about Big John's truck is that he's got all these ads on it and stuff. He's using, like, pieces of billboard and old, like, tractor trailers. It's got a lot of rust and stuff on his. Let's get a closer look at that. Yeah, this is all of a color. I'm actually going to go over this with that because this is supposed to be a piece of tractor trailer too. He's just using like every other delivery truck out there as like reinforcement on his truck. I really appreciate that. Like, it's a good detail. The only thing I'm not thrilled about with these models, and I do like these models, there's tons of sculpted in detail and stuff on them. The only thing I really don't love about them is that they are symmetrical. And I understand why. The reasoning, I'm sure, has to do with the fact that the pictures only have one side. You're only ever seeing one side of the vehicle on the illustrations. So they basically just sculpted the same thing. Same exact thing. They are completely symmetrical. So, you know, that's how it is. It's fine. And then I'm going to be going back over the tires and stuff. This is just the most basic of base coats. I just want to slap some color down, try to start delineating the different parts of the truck. There are going to be different shades of brown that come in here eventually. I mean, it's definitely meant to be like a container truck. It is brown underneath. We're eventually going to do a more metallic brown, like a rusted look to it. I just want to get a base. I keep looking over at that screen like there's going to be something there, but there's nothing there. Cool. All right. So we're going to do a blue. And then we're going to be painting the orange flames over that blue later. So we're going to do the blue first. It's really a nice bright blue, which is a little lacking. We'll use this. No, tan. Tan first and then yellow. But I had already been working on the school bus. Better. Yeah, I'm gonna need to bring my blue from home for this to get it the right shade. I mean, this gives me a basis, but I need that really deep, pretty blue that I used for Sarah's base from Labyrinth. That almost purple blue. I mean, this blue does give me a good idea of like where I want it to be. But then I'm gonna need to go over it. I'm gonna need it to be that deeper blue. I do like how colorful this game is, that it's not drab. You've seen me painting my buddy Steve Santorini figures. You might know how I feel about drab colors. Not my fave. I like brighter blues, just brighter colors in general. Yeah, this blue really isn't it's not the right shade of blue. It should almost be purple. But that's okay. While we're here, sort of getting an idea of blocking out what's where, let's do an initial shade of green over that top blanket, and then we're going to add, when I go into detail work, I'm going to be doing little blips to make it the camo print. I would like to thank whoever sculpted this for not sculpting the tiny little skeleton on the front of his truck, because that would be impossible to paint at this scale. I would basically need to paint like under a microscope at that point. It would be really, really tiny. I'm not worried about this being super bright right now, because I know it's going to change. Hey again.
Just checking on my computer. I think it may have just finally died. Booting up the thing. Nothing is working.
That sucks. So this is supposed to be Coca-Cola. This is FedEx. And this is some unknown something. Oh, you know what? It should be UPS. Just thinking about the different companies, I see like there's definitely Coca-Cola in there. There's definitely FedEx in there. And then there's some like not actually a brands. Like it's got this one here. isn't like actually a thing, as far as I know. But then you've got like, that's definitely Coke, and that's definitely FedEx. But this one is sort of just this like green. There's no reason why that couldn't be like FedEx brown. Ugly brown and green logo. But until then, let's get some of these other panels put in. There are some just metal panels here. This one under where like the extra tire is just metal. The tire is just black. Alright, let's see what's going on with this.
Inside of the cat trimmed up.
Yeah, and I tried using my pin to undo it, and it just wouldn't come. So. There we go. I do prefer eyedropper bottles to non-eyedropper bottles. I might have noticed a couple of weeks ago I had an incident with a paint pot. Okay, so apparently that fixed it. Whatever. I had an incident with the paint pot and my jeans, actually the same jeans I am wearing today. It was unpleasant. But hey, jeans are pretty sturdy, so cleaning tip, if you happen to spill acrylic paint on yourself, first thing you should do is turn the garment inside out, wet it thoroughly with warm water, put a towel or paper towels underneath where the stain is, like where the stain was placed, but you're inside out, so it's going to be on the inside of the garment. Warm water. Just wash it out with warm water if you can. Of course, I was here, so I was like just wetting it and pressing and then peeling away. Keep it as wet as you can, because as soon as the acrylic dries, that's it. You're toast. But dishwashing liquid, like hand dishwashing liquid. And if you have denim, a toothbrush, because that'll really get in there and get all the dried bits of acrylic out, which is nice. This is going to end up being like a lot of rusty metal. So one of the things that I have noticed while painting is that sometimes there are crevices that I won't see while I'm painting that I will notice after the fact when I go to see like what it looked like on camera. Because I do like to see what things look like. For one, I know I need to practice making sure that what I'm doing is on screen. So that's something that I like to go back and take a look at. And I'll notice, I'll be like, oh man, there's like this huge crevice that I totally missed. Like there's this huge blob of black. And then the next time I look at the model, I turn it over and I'm like, yep, there it is. Like 100%, it's right there. I just totally missed it because of the angle I was looking at it. So I've been trying to be better about like turning things upside down and really like getting a good look at everything. Like the undercarriages, especially for the trucks. You want to be cognizant of the fact that they do have undercarriages. I'm painting this sort of a universal color right now, this tan, just because I know I'm going to put a lot of rust over it. It's going to be real ugly, but that's sort of the point. But I'm not too worried about getting like tan everywhere. It's not a bad base color for me to have on this stuff. Because I can definitely put a metallic over this and have it still look the way it's supposed to. Decent base coat for now. I'm still looking up at that screen like it's showing me something. Damn it. So we're going to go over the middle sign with white. We're going to make it off-white because goodness knows that FedEx sign is not going to stay pure white for very long. Okay. Put red on the next one for Coca-Cola. It's red liner, right? Actually, that shouldn't be red back there. That should be like a silver or a steel. Thanks, honey. Okay, UPS trucks are like brown. Like a greenish brown and gold. I'm going to go ahead and assume, I'm going to go with that brown. I'm going to do that. They've got a hint of a greenishness to them. So I'm going to do like a dark brown. Sorry about your computer, honey. I feel bad because I asked you to bring it today. And now it's not working. I feel bad about that. A little bit of green to that. We'll put like a little gold stripe on it so it looks like a UPS panel.
Hello, Magic Players. While we're waiting for the last turns to finish the last rounds, if anybody wants to register for the 7 o'clock, now is a good time to do that.
Now, I'm probably not going to be painting for all that much longer. I don't know how long Andy's going to stick around and help with the pre-release. Pre-releases are enormously stressful. This one more so because we have less product than usual. And I know that's stressing Andy out. So I know he wants to make sure that things go smooth. I know he's worried about that. So I just paint until he comes up here. And we'll go home. Make some tacos. It's the plan tonight is taco time. We have a staff day, like staff training day coming up. We have one annually at my workplace. It's coming up. And they asked us to vote on where we want to be getting our lunch from. So Friends of the Library provide lunch for the staff, which is very nice of them. And I voted for tacos. That's actually looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the base coat on Big John here. We'll let that sit for a little bit. Let's look at Grand Lord Emperor Torque here. So as you can see, he's got like a tire. He's got a lot going on. He's got a lot going on. Look at him. And look at his card. Look at how much is going on that card. That is wild. Absolutely wild how much is going on there. So we're gonna let's see what we can do here. I've basically got everything except his torso and the windows based out. He's going to end up, it's going to get a lot rustier than it is right now. I did all like the hoses and stuff connecting to him in gray. He's got a lot of like white bandaging going on around him. Ooh, I need to do some more gray there. There's some stormy gray I need to... Stone gray. I need the darker gray. Where's my darker gray? There we go. He's got a lot of rust going on him, but he also has a lot of chrome on like his window plates and stuff. So I'm not seeing anything because I'm on a different window. Okay.
For the Gabrielas and Finn.
You know what? I don't think it's a bad idea to just go with gray for him and then be painting bandages over that.
Round 3 going up now.
Yeah, this isn't the worst idea to do gray underneath all his apparatus. Yeah, that works. So we used polished bone for his skin. We're going to use aged bone for the skulls that he has decorating his truck, even though like in the illustration they are exactly the same color as his skin, because that's normal. I guess it's normal for Wasteland.
Nick Pierce, is there a Nick Pierce? Okay, you're to the 16. Dylan Tucci, you're to the 17.
Sorry, this is upside down to people. What I've found, unfortunately, is that due to the lights that we have up here, and lights plus camera mean that if I have the camera oriented any way other than this, it blocks my view of the model, which certainly doesn't make for very good painting. Which means I do need to have things upside down or sideways every once in a while. Sometimes I can handle the model being upside down, sometimes I need to be orienting it to myself so that I know what I'm painting. So last night I had a chat with a friend, our friend Andrew Cowell, who was on our stream last night, who was on our gaming stream. And he's got a really nice little model for D&D that I'm hopefully going to be painting at some point for him. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what we talked about. I like the idea. So it's a hex blade. So he's got this nice dark sword he's carrying. Parented by a very flamboyant bard. So mostly dark colors, but with a couple little touches of color on it. And I'm totally into it. I'm really excited about it. Has a bandana that's gold with black wyverns on it. So I'm gonna be doing that. So, hey, honey.
Hey, I don't know who's supposed to be taking over with Riley, but they haven't shown up yet, so I have to check. Still, it's not booting.
Yep.
So I leave it sitting. It's thinking hard.
It's thinking real hard.
Worked yesterday.
Yeah? You were using it this morning.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, you were using yeah. Wah wah. But yeah, it did work last night.
Yep. To think. It'll come back to life, maybe not. Can I see?
Yeah. It's the beginning of Big John.
Yep. Is it wet or?
Nah, he should be pretty dried out by now.
All those little steel plates. And there's some fun detail in these.
Oh yeah, I mean there's some really great. They're very nicely, sharply modeled.
Yeah.
The trick is that they're not just sharply modeled; they're also really tiny.
Yeah.
All right, go find out who's taken over and when they're supposed to get here.
Yep.
Pre-releases, man. Rough times for everyone. I am glad I'm getting, because these skulls have just sort of looked like these little black voids. Underneath. I actually have another treat for Andy when we get home. Actually, before we get home, we need to make a stop somewhere, because I do have a treat. That's looking so much better than it did before they were done. And I mean, they're done, but they're in. All right. So what we're gonna do, and this is something that I'm very leery of, but it's the only way I can think to do it. Over this tire on his chest is supposed to be like a mesh, wire mesh. So what I'm gonna do is give myself a tiny bit of this shadowed steel. Because it's not molded in, like a lot of detail in this is like molded in really nicely. That, not so much. It's there, but it's not molded in a way that, like, if I were to try and use a wash to delineate things, it would really do the job. No. I think it's just not going to work. No, I'm just going to coat it in silver and we'll go over it with black maybe. I'm going to try and get in there for that wheel that's on his back. That worked. All right. No. Oh no. That's really annoying. I dripped water into my gray paint. So now it's diluted and it's not actually going on the model. Meh. There we go. Yeah, I have a treat for you. I don't really like the green under there. It's too close to his skin tone. There we go. Better. Those skulls are looking good. All right. Let's get him dirty. It's time. So he needs a whole bunch of bandages around him. He's all like bandaged up and stuff. And I'm gonna use like a gray for that. I'm gonna use this bone shadow for some of that. And I'm gonna use a I'm gonna use the pale green that actually is, no, I don't like that. We're gonna use sort of gray green for some of it. But I think bone shadow is going to be a good one for some of that. Yeah, look at that. That's a nice brown. I mean, it's an ugly brown, but it's that one right there. Okay. I'm sorry, Andy, that sucks.
Well, I think we're gonna call it a day.
Sure, let me just get a couple more little things painted on.
Yep. We're gonna raid paint with Penny.
Ah, lovely. I do like Penny.